Welcome, everybody. I appreciate everybody joining this afternoon. My name is Robert Davidovitz. I'm president of Solutions Mid-Atlantic. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to join us. Everybody's time is valuable, and we're really grateful that you guys have decided to take time this afternoon to join us here. I want to start off by saying that we have a great session planned for you today, and have a great team from Poly. We've been partners with Poly for some time, nearly 3 decades, and Poly, now known as HP, has been gracious enough to join us to help host this session about hybrid work in the federal government. So with that, I'm going to share here. And we've got a great session, lots of information, and I've got a great team from Poly. I want to introduce, actually, before I introduce my colleagues from Poly, I just want to point out, if throughout the process you guys have questions, we're going to open up to questions here at the end of the session. Feel free to go up to the top of your Teams window. You'll see a Q&A icon, and you can chime in there and ask your questions, and we'll try and make sure we get to everybody's questions here at the end. We may not get to all the questions, but certainly if you have any, please feel free to drop them in the chat. That said, as I said, we're super excited. Here's a quick look at the agenda of what we're looking to cover today. With me here today, I've got my counterpart that I've worked with for many years, Karen Dushaw. She's our federal partner business manager, to do a quick intro of the HP team and what we're going to cover here today. So with that, Karen, I hand it off to you.
Great, thanks, Robert. Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Karen Dushaw. As Robert mentioned, I'm with HP Poly. I manage our federal channels program here at HP Poly. I interact mostly with our partners and help support their efforts around providing our collaboration solutions to our U.S. government customers. We are a channel-focused organization here, and relationships with partners such as Solutions are extremely important to us. I'm thrilled to have been asked to participate in today's webinar. For anyone who might not be familiar with HP Poly, I can give you a short summary of how we came to be. Poly is the combination of 2 leading collaboration OEMs called Polycom and Plantronics. Polycom historically focused on video and voice solutions, while Plantronics was an OEM of headsets. Our most notable federal headset user was Neil Armstrong, who uttered the phrase, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," while on the moon in July of 1969. Mr. Armstrong was wearing a Plantronics headset when he said those famous words. Fast forward to early 2022, HP Inc. purchased Poly. The intention of this acquisition was for HPI to build out the most impactful hybrid work tools portfolio there ever was. Our goal is to provide our customers with the best collaboration solutions on the market to ensure high quality and productive virtual meetings, regardless of where or how those meetings are being conducted. Post-pandemic, hybrid working is in the forefront of how people work and collaborate, and HP Poly's portfolio is designed for success in these areas. You'll hear more about the specifics of some of our tools from my colleagues in just a moment. I want to point out that joining the HP team has benefited Poly greatly in supporting our federal end users and the federal mission overall. With the resources that HP offers to us, we are able to focus on things that are important to our customers, things like ensuring we have TAA product offerings, that we adhere to NDAA rules, and that we meet other government compliance and certification requirements. We have products that are purpose-built and approved for federal environments. Our channels, sales, and engineering teams within Poly are part of a larger public sector entity within HP, which means we have more resources available to us as we continue to develop and market products for our federal customers. Before I turn things over to the next speaker, I'd like to also mention our Herndon, Virginia Experience Center, where I am joining this webinar from today. This space is located off the Dulles Toll Road in Herndon and is open to all of our customers and partners. We have all of our meeting technology solutions in use and on display here. We will customize your visit and briefing so that you can see and touch the tools in our portfolio that interest you. We can set up our solutions in a variety of environments, including Teams and Zoom. So if you're local to the DC area, I would encourage you to come visit us. I should note that we can also host virtual demos from here as well, and they're just as effective as being in person. Again, just let the solutions team know, and we'll get either type of briefing scheduled. And when you do visit, you'll have the pleasure of meeting my colleague sitting to my left, Elizabeth Patillo, who runs this facility. Finally, I've mentioned the importance of our partners such as Solutions. We are a channel-focused organization and can't be successful without the support of great partners such as Solutions. We've got a long history of working with this team and trust that they will be able to serve you well in your journey to deploy or upgrade the collaboration tools within your agencies. Again, thank you for your time. We understand how busy everyone is, and we truly appreciate you spending this hour with us. With that, I'd like to turn things over to my colleague, Scott Zumbalin.
Thank you, Karen. My name is Scott Zumbalin. I am based in Denver, Colorado, and I'm part of HP's Partner and Alliance organization. What we would like to do is, before we get into talking about the actual solutions and services that we can provide, I'd like to share with you a report that HP commissioned in 2023 to talk about the kind of relationship with work. We specifically called the Work Relationship Index. This report and study was created to help us understand and make sure that we're still providing the right products and services to our clients. This was a worldwide study. Over 15,000 knowledge workers, business leaders, and IT professionals were interviewed, and really gave us a lot of insight in terms of how work has changed over the last few years. What are the new nuances? What people are looking for in terms of work engagement and so forth. Some of the key takeaways of this report, and again, I would encourage you to do a search on HP Work Relationship Index to view the full report. But one of the key takeaways is that 1 in 4 workers feel that they have a good relationship with work. So obviously, there's a lot of room for improvement. Another key finding of the report was that AI is becoming even a more and more important key consideration that workers are trying to get their heads around. And obviously, HP is heavily invested in that part of the business as well. And we have additional reports in addition to the Work Relationship Index. There's specific reports on AI and other related topics that I would encourage you to look at. One of the some of the insights that we learned from this report after again interviewing more than 15,000 folks in 12 countries, that workers can feel disconnected, which can negatively impact their productivity and their relationship with their employer. And obviously, we look at this type of report as a good information for us to try to figure out what we can do in terms of our products and solutions and services to keep that engagement more in line and on track. Some of the specific aspects related to AI, which was part of the report, really shows that there's an opportunity for education. Most workers feel that there is a lot of upside in leveraging AI as part of their job to maybe automate some of the more mundane tasks. But I think there's a lot of opportunity for us to all do a better job of understanding how to most effectively leverage this building part of the market that we're all engaged with now. There is, as I mentioned, there is a specific report in addition to the Work Relationship Index report. There is a specific additional report on our website on the landing page that will go into AI specifics in a little more detail. But this is obviously an area of investment for most technology companies, and HP being no exception to that. Some of the key drivers that we identified after looking at some 50 aspects or more of the workers' relationship, we found really 6 primary drivers. Fulfillment, what the workers, are they being fulfilled in their work, and are they being empowered? People centricity, making sure that decision-making within an organization keeps people in mind. Leadership is leadership empathic and emotionally connected. Skills are workers invited to learn new skills to do their job better and continue to learn. And tools in workspace, which tools is the right technology being provided to drive engagement and productivity. And what's the workspace look like? Is it flexible? Is it a trusted environment, and are we trusting employees to do the right thing and provide them seamless transitions as they transition from one work spot to another? Obviously, the tools and workspace area is something that's very key to HP, since our products are very much involved in the experience and making sure that individual users can be seen and heard fully as they engage in the workday. So these specific insights allow us to not only get closer to our clients and make sure we're proposing the right types of solutions, but also helps in our product development, that we're investing in the right areas where the continual evolution of UC technology, as it improves, where do we need to invest to make sure that we're continuing to improve that engagement. So I would encourage you to do a search on HP Work Relationship Index to view the full report. It was published in late 2023, and there's going to be some updates coming this summer and some continued evaluation. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to John, who will dive into more specific aspects of our solutions.
Perfect. Thank you, Scott. So hello, everyone. I'm John Familari. I'm the Principal Microsoft Solution Architect here at HP Poly. I am based in Southwest Virginia. And today I'm going to go over basically the portfolio of solutions that HP Poly has with respect to Teams. My role to give you a little bit of ideas, I kind of sit in between our technical sellers in the field and our engineering and product teams. So kind of a hybrid role. And I also have kind of an ancillary responsibility around the federal space. So I actually am former Microsoft. I spent 15 plus years at Microsoft, 10 of which were in Microsoft Federal. So very familiar with the space, very familiar with Microsoft in general. So looking forward to kind of discussing what we have to offer and talking about, in particular, the federal space. So as we dive into kind of the overall theme of what we want to talk about today, really, when you look at HP Poly and Microsoft, we've been doing this together over the iterations of what Karen talked about the history of the company. We've been a Microsoft partner for a long, long time, a device partner for a long, long time. And we are probably the partner that has the biggest and broadest breadth of portfolio of devices. We can cover any workspace out there, whether it's home office, office spaces, different collaboration spaces, and we have a device or a solution that can cover any one of those particular scenarios, any one of those particular what we call personas, or any kind of use cases that are out there. So we have a huge breadth of products that cover no matter what scenario you may be looking at. In addition, and these are all native Teams devices, so devices that have gone through rigorous certification with Microsoft and are all posted on certification websites, so you know that these devices have gone through testing and will work within the Teams environment. So not only do we have native Teams devices, but we also have, with our partnership with Pexip, solutions that provide interoperability with existing estates, particularly video estates. So if you have customers out there who live in particular environments that may not have options or native video solutions that are supported yet by Microsoft, these interoperability solutions that we provide with Pexip could be a choice to allow customers to gradually move into native devices when the opportunity arises. So let's look at the current portfolio that we offer. So starting on the phone side, so we do have a number of certified Teams phones. It's our CCX line of phones. We have the 350, which is a common area push button physical button phone. We have the CCX 400, which is our original common area phone. Then we have the 500, the 505. We have the 600 as well. So these line of phones are our native Teams devices. They run a native Teams application on an Android-based phone. Now, these phones, from a federal perspective, are certified to run in any environment within federal. And in fact, if you're supporting a DoD customers, or you are a DoD customer, these are the only JITC certified devices in market today. So that's a great selling point from our perspective. We are the only vendor that has a certified Teams phone, JITC certified. We also have our expansion module, the EM60, what allows you to do expansion from the 505 or the 600. We also have our conference room, our C60, and then we have our Rove portfolio devices. This is our decked mobile device. Now, these are a little bit different than the other devices. They do not run a native Teams application. They work over what's called the SIP gateway, which is built into the Teams platform. They allow you to use a typical SIP signal or SIP platform and connect into Teams, and those devices are able to be managed within the Teams admin center. So those are available in certain government areas, but not all. So you want to make sure, depending on where you live and where you support, you want to make sure you kind of find out whether these are supported or not. When we look at the headsets, this is where, when Karen talked about the merger of Plantronics and Polycom, Plantronics brought the headset market to the headset piece of the portfolio. So we have a headset for every what we call persona. We have wireless and wired headsets. So depending on the area of government you support, whether wireless is supported, we have a wired as well. In fact, from our Blackwire headsets perspective, our wired headsets, in addition to our CCX phone line of phones that are JITC certified with Teams, we have a number of Blackwire headsets that are also on that APL. So lots of choices from both a wireless perspective, a wired perspective, a decked perspective, contact center, and speaker phones. We have our sync line of speaker phones that are also Teams certified. So a breadth of devices for any scenario that you may have from a personal device perspective. All right, so the majority of the rest of the presentation is going to focus on video, and video is a very important component of our portfolio, not only for our current portfolio, but as you will see later on, our roadmap. We have a number of exciting devices that we've announced and will be announcing and bringing to market later this year. But from a core video component perspective, we have a breadth of solutions, starting with our USB family of devices. So these are devices that are all-in-one devices, microphone, speaker, camera, plugged in via USB to a laptop or some of our other video devices. We have our all-in-one Android-based MTR rooms, or MTR on Android rooms, so our Studio X line. We have a modular solution, also based on Android, but it's not an all-in-one system, so it gives you flexibility on the peripherals you choose from audio and camera perspective. And then we have our Windows-based solutions, our Studio Room kits. So if you're not familiar, Microsoft Teams rooms are broken into two different categories: Android-based devices and Windows-based devices. And HP Poly has solutions that cover both platforms. So as we dive into Windows-based MTRs, it really comes down to two really core components. We have the compute, which now as HP, as you probably can guess, is an HP compute. Now, prior to us becoming HP, we did offer other vendor solutions from Lenovo and Dell in particular being the TAA compliant version. But now that we are HP, we obviously are focusing on our HP compute. And we have a current HP compute called the G9, which is also TAA compliant currently. And then when we take the compute and we add our base kits and USB cameras to that, based on the size of the room. So we have focus rooms, small, medium, large cameras that you can combine with your base compute kit to complete a Windows-based MTR solution. So looking at the Android platform, so we also have a breadth of solutions that cover any size room on the Android side. So Android is more of an all-in-one device category. It's a speaker, microphone, camera built in with a codec that's running a Teams application on Android. And we have, again, solutions that cover all the different rooms that Microsoft kind of categories. Microsoft categorizes focus, small, medium, and large. So we have the X30, which focuses on the focus room and the small room. We have the X52 for medium rooms, X70 for large rooms, and then we have our modular G7500 combined with our E70 camera that can fit really in any room that you would like. It's just based on kind of what you want to piece together. With an E70 camera, that's going to cover a pretty large room. But again, you have options around modularity when it comes to the G7500. And we also have our TC10. So our TC10 is a dual purpose device. It's a 10-inch panel that can work either as a scheduling panel that you put outside of the room from a Teams perspective, or it can be a controller that can be paired with any of those Studio X devices or that modular G7500 and control the meeting. So it's a dual purpose device. You can have one of each, actually. You can have let's say a G7500 in the room with a TC10 as your controller, and then a TC10 on the outside of the room, mounted on the wall as your scheduling panel for the room. So a dual purpose device that works great in any one of those scenarios. So with any of these particular solutions, whether it's an Android-based room or a Windows-based room, you get all the great HP Poly video goodness and innovation with our camera technologies. From Director A, what we call Director AI technologies, from group framing, speaker framing, those really stable table stake capabilities, our people framing capability, which is basically looking at it, that meeting equity coming out of COVID and being able to give individual representation of people in the room. We have our people framing technology that takes a single stream from the camera, delivers it to the Teams platform, and then individually maps out up to 6 people in a Teams tile that gives some individual representation of the people in the room. And all of that is based under our Director AI technologies. And then one of the newest one we have is something called a Director AI Perimeter, which really gives you a way of framing out, say you have a large room, say you have some obstacles like windows and glass, that makes it a little challenging from either an audio perspective or capturing people walking by a hallway. You're able to use perimeter to map out your perimeter so you can remove some of that extraneous noise from the room. So that's one of the newer video technologies called Perimeter. And then from an audio perspective, we have a number of things we've had for quite a while. We've enhanced them through AI technology, from things like noise block AI, sound reflection reduction, which is another new technology where you have, say, a room that is full of glass and it makes audio a little challenging. We can remove some of that challenge through AI technology to remove some of those hard surfaces that where audio bounces off of. And then our acoustic fence technology, which is very similar to Director AI Perimeter, but from an audio perspective, basically giving you, lack of a better term, a cone of silence, where you can, again, block out some of that extraneous noise so people can focus on the people in the room instead of the noise around it. So let's look at some of the new stuff we announced just a month ago, and we also showcased at Enterprise Connect recently. These are all video-based devices. So the first one is our Studio E60 camera. So this is going to be our new large room NPTZ camera for large spaces, 12 times optical zoom, 4K, 8 megapixel camera. It's going to deliver Director AI capabilities like presenter tracking and group framing. Very simple technology, USB connected. Flexible deployments, we can mount it on the wall, on the ceiling, you can invert it. So a number of different ways you can deploy this device. It has, like I said, that optical zoom camera. It also has a secondary lens. You can see on the bottom there, that little red lens. That's for the AI capabilities of Director AI that allows for some of those AI functionalities. Currently, when it ships, it's going to be Zoom and Tencent certified, but it will be Microsoft certified in the coming month. Again, designed for that large space, it's going to give you that very long throw, 25, 30 feet roughly, with that optical zoom. So it's really going to be great for those large spaces and really fit a need that we're missing today in the market. The next device is our Studio V52 line. So this is a USB camera. It's got a 4K 20 megapixel camera, a 95-degree field of view. If you're familiar with our Studio X line, you'll see that it looks very similar to the X52 because it is. It is actually an X52 with the codec removed. So it gives you all the great bells and whistles of an X52 in a USB connected device. So we're really excited about this device because it's going to be a centerpiece for a lot of the things we do moving forward, especially within our Windows-based MTR solutions. It's going to be really a hub for a lot of the connectivity that we're going to do in the future. Again, this will be, it has launched Zoom and Google Meet certified. It will be Team certified, again, just like the E60 in the coming months. How it fits into our current portfolio. So we're looking at kind of designating our video devices moving forward, especially our USB devices, but also our Studio X codec devices. So we look at our medium room solutions. Our Studio USB device is still out there. That has been one of the first devices we built with the merger of Polycom and Plantronics. It is still going strong. It's still a very popular device, but it's getting a little bit long in the tooth design-wise, but it's still there. And that's going to fit what we're calling our essential USB conferencing devices. The V52 is going to slot into that premium USB experience device. So again, giving you all the great capabilities of an X52, but just in a USB connected format. And then we will have our premium video conferencing experience space, which is our X line. And in the medium room, it's the X52. And then probably the most exciting device that we're going to bring to market. This one's going to be a little bit farther ahead, probably towards the end of the year, but we pre-announced it at Enterprise Connect last month, is our Poly Studio E360. So there's a lot of buzz in the market around these center of the room camera, center of the table 360-degree cameras. Well, this is our solution to that. So it's going to have 4 8-megapixel cameras delivering a 360-degree view of the room, 4K, Ultra HD. It's a front and center camera, and what we're also calling it is a companion camera, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. It's going to have smart switching based on our Poly Director AI technology. 4 built-in microphones. Again, simple configuration, IP connected, with a privacy setter, that little silver ring you see under the camera, that is adjustable, where it can be put across the camera for privacy. And again, we're calling it a companion camera, and you'll see why in just a second. So what we're looking at is a new multi-camera experience. So with this E360 camera, it is not a standalone camera by itself, but it is a camera that you'll pair with a front of room camera to start, such as our V52 that I just talked about, or our X52. So really what we're doing is we're taking that front of room camera, combining it with an E360, and giving what we're calling best face forward. So when you're in a standard conference room, for example, and you have that front of room camera, you get that single view. But when you put a 360-degree camera in the middle of the table and you combine the two, use Director AI technology, you can take people that are sitting around a room and looking at the front of the room. As soon as they start looking across the table, for example, if Scott, for example, is across the table from me and I start talking to them, Director AI will say, hey, John's best view is from this E360 camera. Let me switch that on the fly and present that to the far end. And then if I finish talking to Scott and they turn to the front of the room and start talking to the front of the room, again, Director AI will take that and switch my view for the far end to the camera in the front. So it's basically taking all the different views that they have from cameras. And this, again, starts with a front of the room camera. And then eventually we have multiple cameras in the room, maybe on the sides, maybe in the rear. And we capture the room and deliver the best face forward of the participants in their room. So we're really excited about this particular technology. Again, this one's a little bit more forward thinking. We pre-announced it. I expect to see this towards the end of the year. And with that, I will pass it back over to Robert.
Awesome, John. Thank you very, very much. Obviously, as you guys picked up, there's Poly and HP's approach is not a one size fits all. It's a many sizes fit all. And that's one of the things that we love about our partnership with HP and Poly, is that truly gives us the ability to facilitate your communication from a hybrid perspective in any space, right? Whether it's from the home, whether it's in the office. And so I'm gonna kick off here just a little bit about solutions and why solutions, why the partnership between HP and solutions is a good idea for you. So with that, we're a nationwide AV integrator. We've got, sorry guys, give me 1 second here. There we go. All right. We're a nationwide integrator. We've got reach in all 50 states. We've got installation teams all over the country and the ability to service agencies and enterprise customers wherever you are. So you'll get the same experience from us, whether you've got local folks here in the DC area where we are, or on the West Coast and Alaska, Hawaii, anywhere. We're also a member of the PSNI Global Alliance that gives us external reach outside of the US. We've done work with many agencies and in other nations as well. So we have the ability to do that, both our own personnel and partnerships. We're a top 5. We're actually the 5th largest system integrator in the country. And so obviously from a scale perspective, we're large enough to handle a deployment of any size. But I like to say that we're also small and agile enough to react to even the smallest of projects. So really any sort of size engagement, we're happy to get involved in. Moving along. Some of our core competencies are, the various different room types and hybrid spaces that we are capable of deploying. As I mentioned, with the entire HP portfolio, we have the ability to do everything from a small huddle room all the way to a large auditorium, large venue, theaters, command and control centers. And we don't shy away from providing just a single headset. If you've got an individual worker that is a remote worker, we'll help facilitate that. It's really all about the quality of experience. We want to make sure that your workers have the experience to connect with work and feel good about it. So we've got folks that we've done work in all different classes of spaces. We'll do anything from your design all the way through the integration. We've got folks with security clearances, and we specialize. Sort of our solutions roots have really started from video conferencing. So although we've sort of grown into a full-fledged AV integrator, it's sort of our heart and soul is in video and in collaboration. So certainly something that we love to do. A lot of our experience includes doing work with all the different agencies. We've done work in the DoD space on the civilian side as well. We're a GSA contract holder with a small business designation, so we can help facilitate procurement that way. We've been designated by SOUP as a SOUP provider, which means that any SOUP partner or SOUP authorized contract holder can reach to us and provide our proprietary solutions, whether they be with HP or any of the products that we offer. And then we have strategic partnerships to facilitate procurement through any of the major GWACs that you would expect to work through, ITES, DHS First Source, NetSense, and NIH CIOCS. And we've got partnerships with all different designations of businesses, SDVOBs, Native Americans. So, reach out to us if you've got a procurement challenge, and we can see if we can help in any way. And finally, our team. I think this is probably one of the most important things here to touch on is, as I mentioned, we've been doing business with what was Polycom, then Poly, and now HP for nearly 3 decades. We've got the highest level of certifications with Poly. We have our own Poly or HP certified help desk, folks that are capable of handling level 1 and level 2 incoming support traffic. And so what that means is, just a quicker time to response, our ability to facilitate service for you guys. And day 2 service is really, really important. Obviously, when you're going to make an investment to deploy any sort of communication technology in your spaces, it's just as important that it works on day 2. And frankly, as everybody knows with technology, nothing is perfect. When you hit a speed bump, you're going to need support. And when you do, you need really, really good quality support. That's something that we strive to ensure that we do it at the highest quality. So, certainly something that we do. We are proficient in deploying Microsoft Teams rooms, on Office 365, all different impact levels. So, depending on sort of the security level of your facilities and what O365 environment you're working on, We've worked with it. We have experience doing it, and we have the ability to help. You know, again, going back to what John touched on, any space, whether it's small, medium, large, we have the solution to meet any budget to deploy and facilitate those solutions. So with that, I'm going to open it up to questions. Obviously, I hope I'll take a look at the question answer section here. Hopefully, you had some folks that had some questions. Give me 1 second here. Our first question, as government teams vary in size and function, how scalable are the HP Poly solutions? Can they accommodate both small teams and larger departments without any significant additional investment? John, if you want, I'll hand that off to you and see if you can help with that one.
Yeah, so from a deployment perspective, you know, there's different things that you look at. So you have the different platforms, whether it's a Windows-based MTR or an Android-based MTR. You also have different considerations as far as which cloud you live in, whether it's a GCC cloud or GCC High or DoD. So there's various levels of, I don't want to say complexity, but there's considerations for each one of those particular environments. At its core, the deployment of either solution is the same. It's just a matter of supportability from Microsoft in certain clouds, and kind of your organization's appetite for different platforms. Some organizations really enjoy the simplicity of an Android-based MTR. It's pretty straightforward, less cabling, all in one device. When you look at a Windows-based solution, there's a little bit more to deploy, but that comes with additional feature sets that maybe Android doesn't have. So there's a number of different things that are considerations, and the solutions folks can kind of walk you through any of those and give you a really good idea of what fits best in the spaces you're looking to deploy in.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Yeah, and to John's point, obviously, if you guys have specific questions about a deployment, feel free to reach for us and we'll engage. We'll get together with our partners at HP and get a team together to have we can do a very quick session and provide and facilitate answers for you on any of those questions that you might have. I've got another question here. What kind of technical support and maintenance service options are available for those products? Are there specific support services for government clients? So I'll take that one. As I mentioned, we have the benefit of being a top level HP partner. One of the benefits that we have as being a top level HP partner is that we're able to provide ongoing day 2 maintenance and support, and our support offerings vary pretty greatly. We can offer support that is strictly hardware support, so extended warranties, and we can offer day 2 support that includes on-site technicians, 24-hour or next business day technical deployment. With the support that we get from HP, we get the benefit of having next business day parts replacement. So if you guys have the appropriate service, if you have high profile systems that are business critical, we have the ability to get parts and get your systems and rooms back up and running. Also within the HP portfolio, there's a great suite of products called Lens that gives us the ability to manage and monitor your equipment. You would have, as an IT professional, if you wanted to, have the ability to manage and monitor those. And then Solutions has our own proprietary RMM or room management and monitoring solution, giving you the ability to have visibility and giving our team to have visibility, oftentimes providing resolution before problems even start. So if systems fail, if equipment goes down, we can typically get a notification from the system in advance of you guys even potentially knowing, and we typically will then perform remote services to restore them. And so, obviously, depending on the entity that you are and the level of security, some of that stuff may or may not apply. Cloud offerings being different for the federal government, but we offer a wide breadth of offerings as it relates to day 2 service, maintenance, and so on. So if you guys have any questions about that, feel free also to reach for us, and we're happy to have a conversation to customize those maintenance services for you guys. I've got one more question here, it looks like. Given the sensitive nature of government communications, how do your solutions comply with government regulations? John, if you want to jump on that, and then I can also chime in if needed.
Yeah, so across the board, we are certified depending on the device, we are certified in a variety of different areas. So like I said earlier, so our phones, our CCX phones, our Trio as well, are all JITC certified. The only JITC certified devices in DoD. So that is a nice feather in our cap from a certification perspective. We also have a number of devices, both audio and video devices, our CCX line of phones, our Studio X line of devices that are TSG certified. So we do have that certification as well on a number of devices. We from a typical government kind of security perspective, things like network security or pen testing and all that kind of stuff. We do a number of that in-house, but we also go through a lot of that testing when we go through, say, JITC or any of these other type of certifications that we've gone through. We also have a number. All these devices as well are certified outside of the Teams platform, so there's specific. Say from a JITC perspective, we have to go through JITC certification with these devices with Microsoft that's running the Teams application, but you also have to put our devices through regular JITC certification for, say, OpenSIP. So we go through all those rigorous testing as well. The application that runs on these devices, so that's a Microsoft Teams application, it has also gone through rigorous government certifications. In particular, the Teams cloud itself is FedRAMP at the highest level. So we already have that built into the devices and the solution. So across the board, whether it's something that we do at HP Poly through specific certification programs, or Microsoft has done through the application, we kind of fully cover the broad spectrum of things that are required from a certification and security perspective across government clouds.
Awesome. I appreciate it, John. And just to sort of tack on to what John was saying, obviously being that HP offers products with all the vast levels of security and certification that meet all the government requirements, we also have expertise in-house within our engineering team to do things like build multi-class rooms that have the ability to have video devices on multiple classes of networks and create ensure security and segmentation amongst those different technologies. And so, again, reach out to us. We'll partner with the HP team to ensure that, we can put together a solution that works in any environment, with any level of classification and any of its security requirements. It is sort of the state of the art that your peers are using today in most of the government agencies and entities. So we've got one more. We got one more here. A question came in. Can the Studio E360 camera be used as a standalone USB device to connect to a laptop, or does it need to be paired with a front of room camera and a Teams room? And looks like Scott, I don't know if you want to take this one. I'm happy to hand it off to you. Sure.
Yes. The E360 camera is a companion camera, so it does need to be paired with a front of room solution like a Studio X52 or potentially a V52.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you. Great. Well, that looks like all the questions we have for today. I want to thank you guys all for joining us this afternoon. I hope that you guys found this informative and helpful. We'll be packaging up the webinar as well as a lot of the data from the presentation and sending it out to everybody. We encourage you guys all to reach out and let us know how we can help. Obviously, as I've said numerous times, the HP team and solutions are thrilled to have an opportunity to work together and make sure that we're facilitating any sort of needs that you may have, with your migration to Teams and hybrid work. So with that, really appreciate it. Thanks everyone for your time.